go, peeps. Are you on the page? Is it loading?
Hey, what's happening, Albuquerque? Luis Hernandez coming at you live from Team Alkaline live stream. That's right, folks. We're broadcasting from the Kangen Water Store. Change your water, change your life. You are tuning in to ABQB2B, the network show by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs, and I am incognito. I'm going to put my sunglasses on here.
Well, there's kind of a reason for that.
What's the reason?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's a different reason.
There's a reason for this, yes. And let's just get everybody introduced here. All right, here I got Mr. Orlando J. Marquez and Wilton. What is up, my mans?
What is going on, guys?
Right? Did
What's
I say
going
that
on?
Hey, so we're a little incognito because of the bird.
The bird. What
Right.
What do y'all know about the bird? That's what I want to know.
Who knows anything
Who
about
knows
the bird?
about the bird?
Well, I'll tell you, this is from back in the day, right?
Back
oh,
in the day.
Man.
Back in the day, Morris Day
Morris
and the
Day
time.
and the time.
A lot of folks may recall the movie Purple Rain with a gentleman by the name of Prince, or
Classic.
The Sign,
Yes.
or yeah.
I think if you're over 35, you had to have seen that movie.
You had to have seen that movie, man.
If you're
You
over
had to have seen it.
35, you've had to have seen the movie, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely a good time, and that's what we're all about right here at ABQB2B. We're here about about the good times, and we're here to share the good news of entrepreneurship, and we're here to let people know that there is a path, a way for you to go if you know
Good to see you. How's it going?
what you need to know, right?
And you never know who you're going to see passing through the store.
Well, that's one of the really cool things here is that we want to make sure that you guys are staying focused here on the task at hand. Because if you were to pick your head up and look out the window, you're going to see a lot of amazing people walk through the doors here.
all day long.
And that's
at
kind of
this
what
store.
happens. That's what happens here at the Kangen Water Store is that you get to see the who's who of Albuquerque.
Well, what's neat about that is that Tim Baca has really created such a cool environment to just people can come in and collaborate. I mean, he's obviously put this little studio together for people like us to kind of share our thoughts and ideas. But when you come into the water store, you're not just coming in to buy water.
No.
You run into friends, you run into people. Sometimes you network. I mean, it's a pretty cool spot over here.
Dude, it happens all the time. In fact, Steve, right?
Yeah.
We ran into the other day, and then I just reached out to him yesterday.
Yeah,
say,
Steve
hey, it was
Grant.
great running into you, and then we run into each other again.
I got in trouble. I was on the show last week.
Is that
Oh.
right?
And I got, the water police came after me because I left my things running.
Oh,
Well, and that's
well,
because
you get caught up in the conversation. You forget you got
he
water
got caught
running,
up in the conversation. Yes, absolutely.
All this water all over the...
That's what it does when you come here. You run into
Yeah,
those people.
you
and
run
that's what
into
happens.
all
you
kinds of
lose,
different
lose
people.
track of putting in, filling up your water, and all of a sudden you get in trouble because you're having an awesome conversation.
Yep, absolutely.
Speaking of awesome conversations, you and I had an opportunity to sit and visit on a Friday, and we had some conversations about some unique tools that existing businesses, entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 companies, anybody who is in business, anybody who is working in a business can take advantage of something that you have. And we're going to get into that here just a little bit. But I want to catch up with OJ really quickly because we did have a pretty busy week, and it's been 4 episodes, OJ.
It's 2. It's been
4.
2. No, it's been 2.
It's been
Or
4.
maybe it's been 4.
4
Dang it.
episodes.
I know. It's been
4
a little
episodes,
crazy.
OJ.
It's been a little crazy.
What's going on?
Well, as a lot of you guys know, I mean, I made the transition. If you may or may not know, I made the transition from team leader at Keller Williams, the Academy office, into a full-time realtor with the Bluneer team at Keller Williams on the Riverside office, located in the Corza Montani Riverside Plaza. And I got to tell you, I mean, making that transition was was a big step. And you know, when you become a realtor full time, guess what else is full time?
What else is
Your
full-time?
job.
Your
Right.
job.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I mean, you are helping people with pretty much the biggest purchase of their lives. So there's a lot that goes into it. You know, a lot of follow up, a lot of interaction, and again, I'm just trying to offer people, you know, the highest professionalism, customer service possible, and helping them navigate through the, you know, through the labyrinth of the home buying process.
There you go. Well, and it is, right? It is.
Oh.
It's a process, and I like the fact that you chose that word process because that's going to be an important topic or keyword for us today is process,
Right.
right? You know, a lot of folks that get into business that you know, start a new career or new path need to understand that there's always a process that needs to come into play. And that's one of the, you know, really cool things about the market that we're in is that there are plenty of people that have come before us to pave the path,
Right.
right? It's very rare instances that we get an opportunity like the one that we have today to talk with somebody who's creating that path for a lot of folks, right? And that's exactly what you've started, you know, and it's not anything that's new. It's maybe just a little bit misunderstood. But today you're going to help us clarify exactly what the process is, and really, you know, what this whole thing is all about, right? So.
I hope so.
Yeah, you hope so. We're gonna, I hope that I'm teasing you guys properly because we're still not there yet.
You're good, man. That's a good tease.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yes.
to know
I'm
about.
like, I'm
yes.
excited to learn
I
more
want to
about
log
it.
on.
Well, so here's the
I'm
deal,
here at the
right?
show.
If you guys are out there watching right now, do me a favor, share this, start a watch party with your friends, the people that you are close to. Start a watch party. Let them participate in this. We're going to be talking about some very powerful things for you if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, or if you simply work for another organization or company here in the Albuquerque area. We're going to share some vital information that could potentially help you skyrocket either your own business or the company that you work for. And it's all dependent on how well you take the information and how well you apply it, right? And so I'm glad to have you back, OJ.
Hey, it's good to be back, Luis. It's been a while. Los
Glad-
guys are back.
Glad to have you back. We joke around a lot. If you don't know, we also do some emceeing, and
We've been known to MC some events.
we did a little emceeing over the Father's Day weekend.
Dia de los Padres event
yes.
with that was actually a pretty good turnout.
You know, this is the second annual. For those of you guys that are not familiar, that is Father's Day,
Yeah.
Dia de los Padres. If you're not multilingual, we're not going to say bilingual because you know if you're
Could be.
if you're a Nuevo Mexicano, you at least have the basics.
When you're from the
Yes.
norte.
When you're from the norte, well, you know, you at least have the basics, right? You've
Right.
got the basics of Spanish down, and you can slang it up all day long, right? Or Spanglish it all day long, right? But yeah, we did Father's Day. A lot of great bands, New Mexico Spanish music bands.
Yeah.
And just a quick shout out to Robert Gonzalez.
Yeah.
You guys know him as the entertainer named Gonzalo.
Gonzalo.
And
From our town.
yeah,
From
exactly.
Vegas.
You're
Vegas.
You're from Vegas. That's right.
I went to school. I'm from Mora, but I mean, Vegas is home to me. You know, that's where I spent all my. That's where I got in trouble.
Hey, he played football at NMHU, buddy. We got a
Yeah.
cowboy here.
Did you
man.
really?
Yeah.
Went to Robertson and went to Highlands. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Everything
So yeah, so I got the two Vegas guys here.
Yeah. Spent a little time there.
Can I invite you guys to come out over to the 4th of July weekend? We've already talked about this.
Well, you know, yeah.
So I'm gonna put OJ on the spot, right? Because normally we do this in tandem, right? Early on he said, "Man, the Mavericks are coming. Ozo Motley is coming. Pitbull is coming." I said, "That's great, OJ.
Los
When are-
Lobos is coming.
Los Lobos is coming."
I mean,
I said,
all of our favorite bands are going to be in New Mexico in a short little span.
they're going to be in New Mexico from July 4th
July 3rd.
July 3rd until July 7th, which happens to
Wow.
be the exact same time as the very notable Las Vegas Fiestas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. And so I will be rolling solo unless I can get this cat over here to squeeze in some time here and there. But
I know. I got to try and figure out how
Man,
we're going to do
we
that.
got to try to
I
figure
gotta
that
figure out how
out.
I gotta do that, man. Because you figure, okay, Pitbull is Wednesday night, the 3rd, here in Albuquerque. All right,
That one you can make, right?
that one I can make. You know what I mean? 4th of July. I don't know. We got to talk about that. I don't know what Luis's schedule is for the actual 4th in Vegas for the Fiestas. All right, so he's out on that.
I'm out on that.
So Friday night in Española, Ozo Motley's playing.
Well, hold on, back up. Did you know that they are also playing 4th of July in Taos? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
They are playing for the actual 4th of July in Taos, New Mexico.
And then it'll be in Espanol on the 5th.
And they'll be at Española on the 5th. All right, so that changes the equation a little bit.
Okay, see, I
And
knew
then
I
the
could throw a
Mavericks,
curveball.
and then the Mavericks and Los Lobos are Saturday night in Taos.
There
And
you
what
go.
day is that?
That's the 5th.
The 5th.
No, the 6th. I'm sorry, the 6th. So
Man.
it's like, how am I gonna pull this off?
You can pull it off, man.
I can pull it off.
You'll figure it
So,
out.
yeah,
You can
I'll
pull it
figure
off.
out.
When
I
you're
can pull it
wanted,
off.
man, when you want,
When you during the day, do the fiestas, MC
Yeah.
in the day, and just go up for the
go
show.
for the show. And Vincent tells, I mean, well, gosh, you
Yeah.
got to choose which way, but I mean, it's only about an hour and a half.
Yeah, an hour and a half either way. So
Dude,
it's gonna be a fantastic voyage this week on the
I was going
4th
to say,
of July
don't you
weekend.
have a helicopter or something like that?
You know what? I need to. Yeah, I need Scotty to beam me up or something like that. That'd probably be the best way to go. Or
Scotty, wherever you're at, beam OJ up.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah, that's coming up next weekend, and I got to tell you, it is by far the very best fiesta in the
Oh,
entire state of New Mexico.
Best fiestas by far in
you
New
know,
Mexico. I mean, Wilton and I, we know those fiestas very, very
Grew up
well.
on them.
You guys
on
grew
them?
up on those,
man,
right?
man.
And you know, really, that's what it's all about is keeping that tradition alive, and that's one of the great things about the folks there at Las Vegas. 1888 is the first
Awesome.
year of the fiesta.
Really?
Yeah, so they're celebrating 131 years.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
if that doesn't say culture,
right.
right? I don't know what does, right? Because I mean, beautiful. And if you've never been to Las Vegas, New Mexico, first of all, shame on you.
You're missing
Right.
out.
Second, get up there. I mean, this is
Well, the drive alone is beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, you go through Pecos, Santa Fe. I mean, you know what? I mean, Villanueva. You're passing up. You get into Vegas. I mean, it's just a pretty drive. It's
It is.
easy. I-25 north. Simple.
is.
An hour and a half.
I-25
You're
north.
there.
Simple. Hour and a half.
And you know what? You really, and I haven't gone in a while, man. I just, of course, I was living here for a while, but all those times that I went, you run into people you haven't seen in such a long time, and it's like you were where you left off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Nothing
what I mean?
changes.
Nothing
yeah.
changes.
You see
And
'em at
and
Walmart.
and you have those good times, and you go off your own way, and you still stay connected. And it's pretty cool. And I said, the last time I think I went back there, the last time I actually was in Vegas for a while was for a reunion.
Oh wow.
Last reunion, and 25th, and now I think our 30th. They're celebrating the 30th coming up. I don't even know 20th. I can't even remember.
Somewhere around there. Somewhere in
there.
between 20 and 30.
But I remember growing up and always doing the Vegas fiestas, and we used to always go to the carnivals. They used to have behind the buildings, and then the next week was the Mora fiestas. Because the Mora
Yeah.
is the week after.
Oh man.
so
That's
that
right.
whole week for us was just a party fest.
Yeah.
Party week.
fest, man. I don't think anybody worked. Everybody took off that whole week from Vegas. To
And I don't
Mora
think any companies
fiestas.
really made money that week because nobody was really doing
Doing
anything.
anything,
They're just
yeah.
hanging out. They're
Everybody's
going to
hanging out,
dances,
everybody's
and,
dancing,
they're-
yeah.
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 Well, definitely a lot of fun.
Lot of
so
fun.
I'm. You guys are getting me choked up here. See?
know. I'm
Talking
telling you,
about all those
I
memories.
know, man. It's an emotional thing.
It is, and it's one of those that holds true for us here in the entire state. If you're a Nuevo Mexicano, then these are things that you participate in and you celebrate.
Right.
By being here, and we're unique. It's something that is unique. In fact, I had a great conversation with Robert Gonzalez on Saturday. We went and we met up and we had a conversation about really how to transition New Mexico Spanish music so that we're reaching bigger audiences outside of the state, and to really break down the barriers that exist within our own culture, within our own industry, so that we can really propel that industry up and out. And so, maybe we'll talk a little bit about this. But just know that there are a lot of people that are very passionate about keeping this thing alive, right? Very, very passionate. And so, it'd be great for you to come back out.
Yeah.
4th of July weekend,
Yeah.
and it would be great for you to be there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna do what I can to make that happen.
Well, speaking of Virginia Diaz, you remember Virginia?
Virginia Diaz.
Marujo. She's I'm not sure if she's tuning in right now, but
We have another gentleman by the name of Robert Monicas that's watching. So Robert, if you can hear
Robert.
us, Wilton and
I
and
know
Luis.
that guy.
Yeah, you've crossed paths a couple times.
we're reminiscing about the old Vegas days. And
I'm sure he's got some stories from his Vegas days.
I have some stories on Robert in his Vegas days.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, so
Sorry, Pam.
yeah, sorry, Pam.
Pam knows about him anyway.
Yeah, at this point, Pam. So a quick funny story about my brothers, right? So I'm in high school. I'm a senior, and it's college day at the high school, and all the different colleges bring their little booths and stuff like that. So, I see that New Mexico Highlands booths. Like, hey, me and my buddies, hey, let's go check it out, man. My brothers went there. All right, cool. And the guy right over there, was just talking about, hey, you guys interested? Yeah. And they have a little brochure, right, on Highlands, and I'm looking at the brochure. I'm like, wait a minute. That's my brother right there. and it was at a homecoming football game. His face was painted, and he's like charging, like craziness, right? And he's on the cover of this brochure for New Mexico Highlands University. So the recruiter there, he's like, wait a minute, which one's your brother? I'm like, no, that's my brother right there, Robert Monicas. Like, Robert Monicas is your brother? Yeah. Carlos Monicas is your brother? Yeah. Hey, we don't want any more of you Monicas here in Vegas. We've had enough of you guys, man. I was like, I haven't even been there yet. True story. The recruiter straight up,
funny.
I think it was one of the Kleppels. And I think it was Daryl. I don't remember, but he tore up my application. Like, we've had enough of you guys. I mean, he was joking. He knew my brothers, but it was funny. There's my brother on the cover of the brochure.
on the cover of the brochure. How about that? That only happens, right?
Hey, Robert had more school spirit than, gosh. I mean,
that guy was
he
Mr. School
entertaining,
Spirit, man.
He kept the crowd going during our games. He really did. Man.
Is that where you get it from?
Who's that guy?
Dude,
Do I-
if
am
you
I-
think I got a lot of energy,
Wait, I'm gonna
Robert,
I'm going to ask, do I have the wrong Marquez on the team?
you might have the wrong Marquez, at least for the hype. He's the hype guy.
He's definitely the hype
Robert
guy.
is the hype guy.
That's it. He's the hype guy.
We might have to reach out to him.
We might have to bring him on the show.
Bring him on. Get him out to an event where he can co-MC with us.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
If he opens up for you,
Yes.
you have everybody will locked in.
Oh man. Oh dude, he's yeah.
Is that a thing? Is there?
Well, I guess there's only
can
one way to
you-
find out.
Yeah. Hey,
So Rob, if you're listening,
we're the
chime in.
MCs,
Yeah.
but
we're the
Rob's going to
MCs,
be
but
the
you're-
opening.
That's
You're the
it.
opening act
That's
for
it.
us.
That's it.
How about that?
Yeah,
Really
good
quickly, want to
times.
shout out Paige Allis. He's put together a brand new website here, sharperstill.com.
Nice.
And in it, he's got a calendar, and it has all upcoming business events in Albuquerque.
What a great idea.
It is over at the ABQB2B, the network group. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll find it there. But I pulled it up, and looks like there are four meetings. There was Above and Beyond Networking this morning. SCORE is doing Ask the Expert with Finance today at noon. Then we've got 4 p.m. Meet the Newsroom with Tara. And that's going to be somewhere's over there.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Over there.
And then ActiCare has a networking event going on.
Elitris, yeah, she's got an
Elitris.
event going on.
She's got an event going on, but a great resource, right? You know that if you are doing business here in Albuquerque, in any capacity, you need to get out and network because this city is built on relationships, and one of the quickest ways to establish yourself and to build relationships is to get out and do some networking, good old-fashioned networking, right?
Absolutely.
Be mindful of the places that you are attempting to go to because we want to make sure that you're being mindful of your own personal time. Right. If it were up to me, you would be attending maybe 1 or 2 networking events a month, but you'd be attending the right ones.
Right. That's really what you want to do is like
The
just,
right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Some updates for you guys. You guys see me chomping on some cut up apples here. I'm just gonna lay it out there for you guys. For many of you guys know that I am diabetic type 2, and I have been for a better part of about 10 years now. I went to the doctor about a month ago, and my A1C was just out of control. It was through the roof, very high numbers. He says, "Listen, man, you got to get this in order now." I said, "Okay, I get it, brother. I get it." So he says, first thing you need to do is we need to schedule you to meet with the nutritionist, right? Just so happens that I know one, Mr. Isaac Velarde, right? King
right.
of Kings Nutrition. And he and I had a chance to visit, and he says, "You know what, brother? I'm going to help you." So I've already gone to visit with him. I brought my wife along for the journey, and we're doing this thing together.
Good.
And so I just want to give him a quick shout out, Isaac, King of Kings Nutrition. He's actually going to be opening up a brand new location in Rio Rancho. In fact, I'll be assisting with that on the promotional side. So be looking out for information on that. We'll be doing a launch, grand opening celebration. We might even contract Orlando J. Marquez to get out there and sing. And maybe we'll get Robert Marquez to introduce him.
He's the ultimate hype guy.
The ultimate hype guy. But no, really, and when we talked about this last week, and I got to tell you, it's doing remarkable things, and I'm just completely amazed at the simplicity of it, but how powerful when you really understand, the micro and macronutrients and how to properly fuel your body.
Right.
This is all new stuff for me. Hey.
But what about this? If Isaac wasn't in the picture,
Yeah.
okay, and the doctor said, "Hey, you got to get nutrition.
Yeah.
You got to get healthy. You got to get under control." You trying to learn that on your own, or even going to Google and trying to learn on your own, takes a lot longer than you going to Isaac. Because we talked about this the day you started.
Yes.
And seeing the difference in the energy you have now, you're talking about it's been 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
right?
4 or 5 days.
And you learn that from somebody.
Yeah.
And he's teaching you, educating you what you can do, that you can take that forever.
Yes.
Instead of having to learn that stuff you learn from a professional.
Absolutely.
So look at how fast how fast you're getting on track.
By
Because
going to a professional.
someone that's knowledgeable and knows everything about what they need to do to help you.
Absolutely.
And dude, it's changing, man. So that's awesome.
And
That's
so
awesome.
just to give you a little perspective
So
on that,
Isaac.
the doctor has been telling me for the better part of 10 years, I need to see a nutritionist. Never taken his advice seriously until this last visit. And, for 10 years, the better part of 10 years, I was on Google looking up,
10 years.
diabetic
Wow.
meal plans and,
How'd that work
all
out for
this
you?
And, getting
10 years of research.
10 years
10 years of research.
You should have a
right?
doctorate by now.
Hey, look what he learned in 4 days.
I know, right? Exactly.
That's the power.
No, exactly.
That is the power of professionals, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And that's exactly why you're here today, because you are a professional, and you really have a heart to help people, and really a heart for helping businesses just really excel and grow from where they're at. And we've had this conversation plenty of times, but for everybody that's out there watching, please tell us the name of the company, right? And then tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
Okay. I'll try to fit this in where everybody can sort of understand. The name of my company is called the STA Group. It's short for Scale Through Automation. Our website is scalethroughautomation.com, so you can go up there and learn more about it. But what I've done is I'm a business owner, and I've owned a lot of business over the past, so I know the struggles, the fears, the stress, all those things that we have to deal with on the minute basis of our lives as a business owner. And I've been blessed and privileged over the last few years to work for a company in Houston that has brought a service that can eliminate all those worries by automating all those. And I can go into more detail about that later. So a long story short, what I do is I help businesses automate all their back-end processes, things that they pay people to do, that you actually pay employees to do that you do behind the computer, that you do behind the computer, because those are things that have to be done. But if you if you automate those and transition those people into the front end of your business, we've been seeing a huge difference. So I'm trying to educate people on how important technology and automation is to their business, so they can focus on what you do best. Like you were talking about real estate.
Exactly.
You know, you have a lot of time that you have to work on the back end, which we're doing the real estate. Well, I'll share that here. It's pretty cool. But you're good at what you do. You're good in front of people.
Right.
When you're talking to people, that's what sells people.
Correct.
And we're showing people that's where you need to spend your time. Well, it doesn't matter what business it is. That's what you got in the business.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
let us eliminate
It's a relationship business. So.
Right.
So if you can eliminate all of the other stuff that you get inundated with, paperwork, payroll, I mean, all the other stuff, I mean, HR stuff. Wow.
Everything physically
Yeah.
that you have to do and mentally that you have to worry about. We eliminate that by automating it, and you sort of have a digital employee that reports all the activity to you any time of the day or however you want to set up. So it's pretty incredible. It's a new
pretty
service.
cool.
It's a new service to the SMB market. It's only been offered to the Fortune 500, really.
Okay.
But now the businesses that we are educating and understand it, once they understand the language and how it works, we're seeing them jump on board and just
Right.
automating as much as possible, because they see how fast they can scale and how fast their vision can actually take flight.
Right.
And so it's been good, man. I've been enjoying it. But coming back to New Mexico, and that's the thing about my business, is it's remote.
Right.
So I was able to move back here and try to help out my community and sort of give them a face-to-face on how this
Yeah.
works, because all my other business I've been doing over the line.
Right.
I was on 2 calls this morning with a guy in Chicago and a guy in New York,
Uh-huh.
businesses in New York. So I can do it online, but I'm trying to get in front of people in New Mexico. That way they could understand the value and power of this service and how it's changing the lives of business owners and employees all around.
Wow.
That's when we talk about process, right? When you do not have a process in place in your business, that's a first sign of disaster.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. But if you do have a process in place, that makes it a lot simpler for you to compartmentalize the important things, right? And know, as the old Kenny Rogers song, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? And what I mean by that is really understanding, as a leader of an organization, as a leader of your business, the owner of your business, you have to know what things you are good at and what things you are not good at, and what things you can pass off to somebody else to accomplish within your business, and what things you may need to take care of personally on your own, right? What you're talking about is something that will help businesses do that, and actually automate those processes so that it happens, as part of a workflow, so that they don't have to necessarily devote or dedicate their waking hours to this one thing because it's being handled.
Right.
Right. So let's give people an example, right? I always like to give people an example, right, so that they can, so it helps them illustrate the picture so they can see what we're talking about and how it might apply to their business. So give me an example.
I'll give you an example that we're working on one. I'm actually working with a dentist right now, and I've done this for a local medical practice as well.
Okay.
And so what we've done is when doctors or these clinics, when someone cancels their appointment at the last minute, they lose money.
Yeah.
They lose money. That's an appointment that they could have got. They should have made some money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have a waiting list of people for months to get in. They have appointments, but they have that waiting list as well. So next available. And so one of them was saying, you know what, we're losing a lot of money because people are canceling appointments because they're not getting their blood work done in time.
Right.
And then by the time they get the blood work done, we can't do it, or they did, so everything is mixed up, and so we lose money. We're trying to figure out how to fix this. So what we did is they gave us a flow chart exactly how it worked. I said, what we can do is when people set up an appointment, they have to if they have to do blood work, it has to be done 24 hours before. They'll get notice. Let's say you want to set up for 48 hours. Hey, is your blood work done? Hit yes or no. If not, it'll say no. It'll say here are the nearest clinics. It'll send you another email saying here are the nearest places to go. You need to get it done within 24 hours. If not, we got to cancel your appointment. So they'll come back, and then once it's registered and they get the blood work is done, it'll come back and say the blood work is done, the appointment's still good. If the blood work's not done, it automatically cancels that appointment. It'll let them know we canceled your appointment because you did not get the blood work done.
Right.
And the minute it's canceled, it opens up the backlog
Right.
of the people to come on board to take that appointment that don't need blood work. That can
Right.
just sort of, hey, it's just I can just go in right now.
Yeah.
Because I need to work on, I need some help on my elbow or whatever it may be. So it opens up to those clients. And within minutes, they've seen, like, when it cancels, another one, boom, within minutes, it's taken. And we know which are the patients that qualify for that 24-hour pocket.
Right. Based
And
on
so-
what they need to be seen for.
Right. So we did that process, and they were blown away. They were like, it just literally saved us time and headache because although we always know what's coming in.
Right.
And it's always communicating with, how do you want to be communicated? Email, text, both. So it'll communicate with your patient however you want to.
Right.
So they can't get away from you.
They
right?
can.
So-
I'm not sure who you're working with, but I'll just say my healthcare provider has something very similar to that.
Absolutely.
And it's great.
It works.
It works out,
Yeah,
right?
well, a constant barrage of messages, making sure that I'm going to be at my appointment.
Well, here's the thing, because where businesses are starting to go to, they're seeing the power of where technology is going and how can they make it more efficient, right?
Right.
The power of artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is really is where a lot of businesses are going, and I know some traditional businesses are a little fearful of that, but that's the reality because people can get information instantaneously.
Yeah.
So if you can alleviate that backlog, if you can alleviate the extra workload, that makes you, or as the entrepreneur, a lot more efficient to do what you do best, which is
Absolutely.
interact and build those relationships. So it's an incredible concept. Wilton and I spoke about this a couple years ago, actually,
Right.
when I was at the chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was in temp for the
Yeah.
chamber, we spoke a little bit about this in a little more detail, and it's awesome to see that the business is thriving and
Right.
that and you're able to, number one, be able to just at least be able to move back home and start offering this to the business owners here in New Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I mean, perfect example, of how that process, if you automate that process, how it can alleviate headaches, how it can alleviate time, how it can actually positively affect your bottom line, right? So in that instance, and I don't know if you know this or not, but what was the value of implementing that for this particular medical office?
Awesome. Glad you asked that question. Well, first of all, the value, you can't really put a time on that because they spend all day trying to make these schedules and trying to call people and all that. Everything that they did manually, we automated. So
Yeah.
we took all that work away from those employees. Now those employees have more time to engage with clients.
Yeah.
They have more time to call clients and say, hey, how are things going, and be more of a resource or support to their patients. And what we've noticed is one of the practices that we're working with now, they've seen an increase in business because now they're showing that they care. Before it was just business. It was like, okay, take care, boom, boom, boom. There was no relationship.
Right.
Now they're building these relationships with their patients by automating it. So the value of it, first of all, you talk about numbers wise, you figure we take, if it's it's a full-time position there that actually was doing this. We took that away, and what they were doing in an 8-hour period, we cut it down to about half an hour a day.
You kind of hit on an idea there, is that now they have more time to dedicate to their patients, right? And we know that customer
Exactly.
service is
That's key.
It's we say key, but I'm going to call it king.
King, it is king. You're
Right.
right.
It's
Absolutely.
king, right? Because it's about the experience, right? And so now this doctor's or medical office is going to provide a stellar experience for their patients, as opposed to having to fiddle with trying to figure out how to get somebody into the schedule and this and get them rescheduled and this and and logistically, man, that's a headache.
It's a headache.
Yeah.
It's time consuming.
It's very
Absolutely.
time consuming.
And there's a lot of errors that can happen too.
Right.
There's a
Absolutely.
lot of errors. There's no errors when you automate.
No.
There's none. Because if there is an error, before it happens, it gets reported back to whoever the gatekeeper is to answer to make sure that whatever is correct. And once it understands that it's been answered, it goes back and never asks that question again because it fixed that
Right.
problem. So there's no errors. No errors.
I like that. That right there, just for the simple fact that it's going to free up a good amount of resources, right? And now I can take those resources and I can apply them to another area of the business that is going to help us be better, right? Or provide a better service to our customers, right? So let's look at the entrepreneur, right? Let's say Louis the entrepreneur, right? I'm just starting a business,
Right.
In a situation like that, what are some of the things that I can automate from the get-go that would help me not have to wear 17 hats in starting or launching a business?
Great question, and I'm glad you asked that because a lot of people, I think, skip this part. When you're an entrepreneur and you're getting started off, you have to grind. There's no shortcuts. You have to build that process. So whatever it is, like on my end, I'm building an affiliate program in the back end, right?
Okay.
And I have to make sure everything's connected. I have to build a flow chart. I have to make sure all this. Once I have that built, now I get automated.
Hey!
You know what I mean? Because now I know from the beginning to the end. So as an entrepreneur, whatever you get into, find out what that process is that you know that will work. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that you know will work.
Sure.
And once you found that process, we'll help you automate it. And during that time it's automated, you can actually start focusing on how to perfect it even more.
Right.
Because now everything's automated for you. Now you can focus on how can I make it better? How can I make it faster? So as coming in new, you have to build those processes. But businesses that are already established, they already have those processes, and they already have the vision. And most of these businesses, when you sit down and talk to them, you look at them as like, man, we can automate 80% of what you're doing right now. And some businesses going off of, we're saying as far as taking those hours away from employees. I was talking to a gentleman just last week. He's like, okay, well now I can eliminate, some employees. And I said, if you want to fail.
Right.
I said, and he looked at me like, what do you mean? I said, first of all, we automate because now you can use these employees to brand your business. You want people to talk about your business. You don't want people to work for your business. You want people to promote your business, to market your business.
Absolutely.
And people that have already been here have that experience. They can share that with other people. So those are the ones that you want that you want to keep.
Right.
And if you want to grow and you have everything automated, how can you grow? You can only grow if you hire heads.
Yeah.
That's
true.
You can automate all you want to.
That's true.
Right.
But until you get people working for you and spreading the word, you can't really grow at a fast pace.
Right.
Right.
But when you have everything automated, your whole focus on the front end, everybody will enjoy their job.
Absolutely.
If I get paid networking and talking and branding and marketing and social media, people are always on social media, people find people that can help your business grow.
Right.
They'll come to work happy all the time because they're going into something that they love.
Absolutely. That's a very good point. And there's a flip side to that as well, right? You've got to make sure that you have things in place so that you can properly experience the growth, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of people aren't ready for that.
Right.
They're not ready
They're
for
not
that.
ready.
Whether it be inventory wise, it could be mentally and emotionally. They're not ready, right? So how do we help them prepare for those types of things, right? Is there a process that we need to take somebody through? I mean, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm vibing with what you're talking about, what's the best way for us to go about doing business with each other?
Awesome. Well, I think, first of all, I sort of want to talk about the employees because there is a big fear factor when it comes to I'm not doing this anymore. Where are my gifts? Where are my talents? Where can I be used? I go into business and I have a group meeting first, and I don't know where it's going. I sort of use that analogy of Ford. I don't know if you remember Ford when first Ford started off. They built like 4 or 5 cars, but they all built it in pieces, and that's why they were so expensive. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Ford says, "Man, let's build
an assembly line.
And everybody specialized in something.
Exactly.
And they start spitting out cars like nothing, right? But they got specialized in something. So what we've done, our business, and that's where my connections and my network is I reach out to these businesses and find out, okay, now that you're not doing inventory control, now that you're not doing purchasing, or now that you would take a lot of those hours away from, not that you're not doing it, but you're taking a lot of those hours away because they're still going to do it.
Sure.
Where are your strengths? And we sort of find out those strengths, and we use those strengths, and we start building a process to help them bring those strengths, whether it's marketing, whether it's networking, whether it's selling. Okay, well, you're a networker. Let's get you on these channels. Let's get you out in public. And we walk them through the process on how to do that. And so if they're good at being on the internet, and that's what I'm working with a real estate company in town, and their staff, a lot of them, I went on there and I asked them, everybody give me their Facebook page and everything else. And a lot of them responded. There's no activity.
None.
Zero. And when the activity that they do have, they're saying, come take a look at my house and sell it. They're not building.
Buy.
They're not building.
Buy.
Yeah, they're not building a brand. They're not educating people. They're not knowledge. And that's what people. And then people buy off that.
Right.
So now we're going to businesses and showing them how to do that, and they're like, oh, now I see the picture. So
Right.
when we go in and we start automating, we already have a plan on helping them, because we already know what the owner's goals and vision is, and we use the existing employees that they have to build off that goals and vision and moving forward.
There you
Absolutely. And I'll just kind of give you an example of something that I've done in my most recent past here. I connected with a platform that was a little bit of artificial intelligence, but definitely automation, right? I'll just say, and I won't go into detail about the name of the tool or what specific platforms, but just say that within social media, it helped me to post on a regular basis, not to one channel, but to multiple channels, right? And it saved me a crazy amount of time. The other thing that it did for me was I'm not a content writer. I'm just not. But it helped me develop content, right? And it humanized it so that it was like...
It doesn't seem robotic.
Right.
Like,
It
just
comes from you.
Yeah.
But just to put things in, put automation into perspective, right? It saved hours upon hours upon hours of time of me having to manually go in to all the different multiple platforms, social media platforms to post, right? It saved me hours of having to come up with the content and the images to post, right? And at the end of the day, if you take those hours saved, and look at the amount of money that I was making there, we're talking about a significant.
It adds up.
Absolutely.
It adds
It
up.
definitely
It
adds up.
And so what did that do for me? That enabled me to go out and do other things. And
To
now
build
I
your
wasn't.
business.
I wasn't right in the mix of doing that. I'm going to say really quick. We're going to say hi to Agent Scully. Agent Scully, you are live on ABQB2B, the live stream, and you are on speakerphone.
Agent Scully is live. Awesome. Oh yeah, this is happening, sir.
We can hear you clear.
Yeah.
I think I better call you back because I got a lot to show you.
Oh boy.
Okay, so just so you guys know, we're going to let the cat out of the bag right here, right now, live. This isn't what we'd planned on or prepared for, but Agent Scully and I are up to no good.
Oh boy. All right.
Up to no good, and so we'll be communicating the launch of a brand new community marketing program for the city of Albuquerque to help with economic development efforts.
Awesome.
That's going to be
Real
awesome.
soon.
Excited about that.
But Agent Scully,
Yes, sir.
anything you want to share with all of our beautiful listeners out there?
I just think that they're going to be really impressed with what you have to offer.
All right. We can't wait to see it there, Agent Scully.
All right. Well, call me when you're done. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You seriously took his call and put him on live.
Yeah,
dude.
I did that.
Who does that?
Well, okay, so because it's relevant to what we're talking about, right? In terms of automation.
No,
right?
absolutely.
And so one of the things that he's working on is, and he's done a really good job of over the years is really helping the small businesses, not necessarily automate, but really, what's the best term to use for this? Well, he's done a really good job of helping businesses capture who they are and what they do, and putting that back out for the world to
Right.
see.
Yeah,
That's the best way to put it.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely.
that makes sense.
And so yeah, we're excited. I've shared the program with you, and just so you guys know, just for all intents and purposes, this is something that is going to launch probably the August September time frame. We're working on all the behind the scenes things to make sure that everything is operational and working perfectly, so that we can make a strong positive impact.
Nice.
Here in the city of
Yeah,
Albuquerque.
iron out any glitches or anything like
Yeah,
that, so that when
exactly.
we launch it, it's ready to go.
It's bona
Awesome.
fide, legitimate.
Ready.
He's a suitor.
But again,
amazing.
so here's another opportunity, right? So through this platform, there's a lot of processes that are automated now for businesses here in the Albuquerque market, right? In terms of documenting who they are, what they sell, their products or services, and all that good stuff. And it's just at the end of the day, it's a business driver.
Absolutely.
Right, and what you're talking about is the exact same thing, just coming up about it maybe in a slightly different way, where you're helping people realize opportunities within their own business.
Absolutely. In a lot of, every business better be having some kind of automation software, right?
Yeah,
Right?
And that's why I think a lot of people get confused of what we're capable of doing. Is there still takes human effort before inputting that into that software
Sure.
and exporting it, whether you export to somewhere else.
Right.
There's always a human interaction that has to happen between there. That's what we are. We're not a software. We work with every software program that you don't have to upgrade software. You don't
Sure.
have to change your software. That process that you build is where we map out, and you help us build the rules, and we automate the whole process. That way, it eliminates not only that time, but now eliminates you having to work within each one of these software programs.
absolutely.
And that's the time where it takes a lot of time, and
Right.
Oh,
it's
boy.
frustrating because sometimes you get, accountants, we see it, they get those invoices, they inputted something wrong a little bit, and then they transferred over to the QuickBooks, and all of a sudden comes out wrong. It's like, wait a minute. And you have to go way back there and check and see what the heck happened.
Right.
Months later,
Right,
we eliminated all that.
all of that.
All of that.
See, and how efficient is that? I mean, you can identify a problem and correct it like immediately
Correct.
with automation.
Yeah.
I mean, how valuable is that to you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to be able to identify problems and basically nip it in the butt before it creates an even bigger problem.
Right.
You
And
know?
that. See, I work with engineers, so they're the
Oh,
robot.
geez, yeah.
We're the robot. Okay, because human error. There's going to be human error somewhere. Working with engineers, they work out all the what ifs,
Right.
what ifs, and I'm like, it's one process. It has like 3 things, and they have 100 what ifs, right? But
Oh, those engineers.
they do, but they work it out.
Yeah, but they do. But they're very methodical. They're calculated, and that's the reason.
That's the reason.
You know what I mean?
That's the reason.
So it makes sense.
And so that's the way that the software works as well. Software asks all those questions, and eventually it won't ask those questions ever again. And it'll find most of the questions out because you build it. You sort of show us exactly. You map it out for us. But eventually, when it does have a problem, it goes back and asks, "Hey, wait a minute! You didn't tell me about this.
Yeah.
How do I fix it?" And it'll answer back, and it'll go back, and it'll say, "Okay, well, thank you," basically, and it'll never ask that question again. So
Wow.
eventually, just boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then a human can't do that because if it makes a mistake one time, something else might come by accident, not on purpose. They might just put their name in like Rogers. I had RODGERS all over
Right.
them. ROG.
ROG.
Those are just little mistakes that people make. A bot will never. We call it a bot. Will never. We call it a digital employee. Will never make that mistake because if it sees a D and then all of a sudden it sees my thing, it says, "Hey, this guy doesn't have a D. it'll go back and say, oh yeah, take
It'll
that
back
D off.
cross-reference and boom,
It'll
correct
go
it.
back, Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, as a business marketer, as an entrepreneur, when I hear about things like this, it gets me super excited because what that means is it's going to make life easier for people. And at the end of the day, that's really what you're doing is you're making life easier for these business owners and its employees, right? And you're freeing them up so that they can make life easier for so many other people out there, all their customers, right?
Absolutely.
I love it, man. So what is the best way for somebody to reach out to you? Maybe somebody out there watching is just got to have exactly what you're talking about. What's the best way to establish? Are you kind of like a doctor, like you've got to establish with your primary care physician, and you got to go in and do a physical, and kind of like going to church on a Saturday. Why you do go to church on Saturdays, right?
I go every Sunday.
Well, most people go on Saturdays for confession.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
But, I mean, is that the process? What is it? So?
I make it a very easy process. I'm engaged with everybody I talk to. I do have a team that sort of helps me. I have engineering. I have our architect, our developers. We have everybody that's involved, but I'm in the middle of everything, and I have to understand what this company needs because I've done it since the beginning for the SMB market, so I know I've gone through all the mistakes and all the headaches and everything else. So all I do is I give people the best way to reach me is my email, which is askwilton@scalethroughautomation.com, and then we set up a consultation, 15 minutes, just so I can, and I'll send you like a little link. You fill it out so I get an idea of what your business is doing and what you're looking to do, and then that conversation, it leads us into that conversation so we can actually tackle that and show you exactly so you can have a better picture and say, is this for me or is it not for me? And so we had a little 15-minute conversation. If that goes great, then we set up a design call. So an architect can walk you through you can walk us through the process, and we can show you exactly how much of that can be automated. So
wow.
So maybe we can put that information in the in the comment areas of the.
I don't want to do it.
All right. Cool.
Can we automate that?
Let's automate that. As he announces his contact information, it just automatically gets populated into the.
We got to talk about that. What you would do for videocasters, podcasters around the world if you had those capabilities. Who likes to write show notes? Nobody.
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 Absolutely.
Okay, so the process is fairly simple. Now, is this the same form that you shared with me on LinkedIn not too long ago?
I have two of them.
Okay.
I have one that's just straight automation. And I think the one I shared with you was my consultant because we do more, because our job is to go in there, and nobody knows about automation. No one knows about automation. You don't go in there and say, hey, let me automate your whole business so you can do other things. People want to I want to do other things now. I want to market. I want to brand my business. So what we do is we go back there and we show them how to save money right away by automating.
Right.
So you can focus your time and attention on that. And then we have a team that can, if you don't have people in place, that we have a team that are already part of the process that will already start working on your marketing strategy, your training strategy, whatever it is that you want to do. We'll have a team that's already working on that. So there's two different ones.
Gotcha.
So the consulting one is more of give me an overall picture of what your picture, but even though there's automation in there. But if you're just focused on, I want to know about automation, we have another link.
Okay.
That just talks about where's the pain points, where are you spending your time, where are you spending your money, and that focuses more on automation. So there's two of them. But I'll send you both of them. You can play around and see which one you want to.
Send us both, and we will get them up at some point in this thread here, so that other folks can take a look as well. Here's the thing, right? Your big takeaway for today, should always be, how can I be better in my business? And guess what, folks? If you're watching, if you're listening, this is one of those things that you can apply. And so I just have to go there, right? Because when somebody doesn't understand something and something is new, they automatically associate that newness with it being expensive.
Expensive and not proven.
Expensive and not proven, right? So how are we delivering the value? I mean, what are we looking at in terms of baseline. I'm sure if that's something that we get into in this conversation.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
can definitely get in that
Yeah.
conversation. Well, first of all, because it is something new to the SME market, we actually do it for free.
What?
We do it for free. and what we'll do is we'll set it up for
We're like, wait a
Right.
minute, wait a minute.
right.
Did
And
I hear you right? You said you'll do it for free.
do it for free.
Okay.
Do it for free. And the reason
Wow.
why right now is because people don't know it exists. People still think we're a software company and we're not.
Right.
And so we have to show them, hey, just give us a process, let us automate it and see for yourself.
What it will do.
Once
Wow.
once they see it, two things happen. They automatically see the value and the power of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also see the price of it compared to what the cost is right now.
Sure.
So I'll give you an example. I was talking about the medical.
Right.
Right. That's a full-time job. So let's just say paying them $10 an hour. What is that? 400. That's like, what is that? 1,600 a month.
Yeah.
Right. That automation bot cost them $200.
What?
200.
Holy
so
smokes.
you can actually see how much it saved them.
Wow.
And the reason why we do that is because we call this service sticky. Because once you do it, you want to keep it because you know it works and it works fast and efficient.
Right.
And you never want to let go of it. And we're willing to take those risks because architects and developers and engineers are not cheap.
Right.
And that's on our team,
Yeah.
right? So we're taking that risk that they after the trial that they're going to want to come on board. So on average, we probably per automation, we probably start seeing a gain. I don't know if I should, but I'm going to share it anyway. Probably about the 10th, 11th month,
Okay.
going into the end of the first contract.
Gotcha.
But by then, we're okay because we know the future value.
Yeah.
We know where we're going with it, and we want to be able to show people that not only they're saving, but that they have that service and that commitment from us. So they have an engineer 24/7, but they just don't. It's just not in their house.
Right.
But they have access to them 24/7, and our response time is within 24 hours. Usually a lot faster than that, a lot faster. And most of the problems that you ever find, we'll probably find before you guys can find them. The only way you guys will find them is because if you switch software and all of a sudden the bot goes, hey, I don't know what happened.
What's going on,
Yeah.
right?
But besides that, that's what we do. And we know it's skeptical, so people are skeptical and really still don't understand it.
Right.
So we offer for free. And after that free trial, then they understand the language. And then they can see exactly how this can affect their company.
Yeah. Well, and what is the purpose of having an architect?
The architect, basically, they design, because they're the ones that are a great communicator between what the business owner sort of mapped out for us
Right.
and transfer that over to the engineer. Because the engineer is just like, give it to me,
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
Architect has a little bit personality.
A little
Yeah.
more
And
creativity.
they can sort of, they understand how businesses work and they sort of get the picture
Sure.
and they're thinking the engineer mind while they're seeing how this is all developed.
Right.
And so now they take that story and they take that picture and they talk it over with the engineer and say, okay, this is what we need to do. Boom, 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 boom.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Good stuff.
The analogy on that is, if you're going to go out and build you a custom home, you're not going to hire Joe the plumber to build it for you.
That's right. That's right.
No,
Need a
you
little bit more than that.
You want to make sure that you got
A good team.
a good team, and part of that team is the architect to make sure that everything is laid out as
Everything is-
beautifully as you want it to be, and then from there he's gonna deliver that the instructions to the team that's going to go and build it out
That's right.
for you, so that you can live comfortably and happily ever after.
That's right.
But only if OJ sells you the house.
That's it.
I mean, it's got to be an ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're working on a great thing for real estate this week. We start our marketing campaign next week, but I'll share that with you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
interested
We're
to
doing.
hear it.
We did the videos this week. They're going out. We're going to start marketing them on our LinkedIn
Okay.
and Facebook and all that stuff. So, but I'll share that
All
with
right,
you because
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I'd be interested to hear.
Absolutely. OJ's always in. His pockets are deep.
I know.
That's what you got to know about OJ, right? OJ just if you're out there, if you're a business and you're watching this, and you need to sell or move some products, just call OJ. He's got deep pockets.
You got deep pockets.
I don't go
Hey,
that
listen. He's expensive, but his ROI is huge.
All kidding aside, but let me ask you really quickly, for somebody like Gina,
Hi, Gina.
the owner
Hello,
of the
Gina.
Duke City Gladiators.
Hey, Gina, how you doing?
How can we automate, champions for her every season? I mean, they've done a great job of creating a championship team last year as well as this year. They're well on their way, but how could we automate that process so that they have a championship team every year?
Well, I met Gina, and I don't think she needs any automation. She's got it under control.
Well, she's
Period.
already got one of the most crucial pieces of the puzzle in her corner, and that's Coach Bramante.
Yeah.
You got to have an incredible coach at the helm to create that culture of winning, to create that culture of excellence. And Coach B has done that better than anybody here in New Mexico.
He just
That's right.
has good energy. The first time I
Oh,
even met
man.
him, I didn't know who he was. I just the guy walked in with some sweats and a T-shirt on, talked to me like I was his best friend.
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, I found out he's a coach. He was like, man, this guy is just for real for anybody.
Oh,
anybody,
yeah,
you know,
he's
he-
real
he
deal.
walks, so.
He's a great guy.
But Gina, she's got under control. But I would tell Gina, which I'll probably get a hold of her, saying, now I know she has an investment company. She does real estate.
Oh, there you go.
All
yes.
right. So, Gina, if you're listening, I know where your office is.
And we're going to come sell you some stuff.
Yeah, we're going to
know where you're at.
sit down and talk.
I have a set of skills, a very special set of skills.
Oh, that's funny. So we're at the 1 hour mark, and man, time flies.
It
when we're doing
flies.
this
does.
When
thing.
you start bouncing off ideas,
Yep.
and
I
yeah,
forgot
good
we were
stuff.
live. I was actually I told you.
It just flows, man.
Yeah, it just flows.
flows.
One of the cool things about this show is that it has that appeal for the folks sitting around the table. We could go on for hours and hours and hours.
And we
but-
have.
and we have, right?
Whoops.
But we're doing our very best to keep this contained to at least an hour. But
Yeah.
hey, for those of you guys that don't know, I am wearing my hat because it is Mariachi Tuesday.
So hey, the mariachis are back in town, and we're not just talking about my mariachi, but we are talking the Isotopes. They change in to the defending champion Copa winners, Copa de la Diversión, as their name is the mariachis, and they are in town tonight, Taco Tuesday. So if you are looking for some good family fun with a little bit of
Right.
entertainment, I will be there. I will be
Nice.
playing some music at the Isotopes / Mariachis de Nuevo Mexico game tonight. So
Are you going to be singing the national anthem?
I will not. Well, I hope not, because I've not been told I'm singing the national anthem tonight. But as far as I know, no. But what I do know is we have a very special surprise. Something has to do with a marcha tonight. So
Oh, is that tonight?
That's tonight.
Oh, I didn't.
And the first three.
I didn't realize that.
The first 3,000 fans get their very own mariachis piñata. So
Really?
get there
Yes.
early. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sadly, I will not be there tonight, so I'm supporting
Just
by
rocking
way
the
of
hat. So
wearing my hat throughout the day.
big shout out to John Traub, general manager,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Dylan
yeah.
Storm, and the whole crew.
Speaking of Dylan, we need to get Dylan here to the show.
I was just texting him.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
We need to get Dylan here to the show.
it'd be great to get Dylan and the promotions team here.
Well, maybe just Dylan.
Okay.
I just want to hear
No,
his
The
voice.
voice. No, you got to hear this guy's voice.
Really?
That guy is got the most incredible voice. Yeah. So Dylan, if you catch this, dude, Lewis
Yeah.
and I are crushing on your voice.
yeah.
No,
As
just-
broadcasters,
as
we're
broadcasters,
crushing
we
on your
appreciate
voice.
the deep voice, the deep resonating voice.
But no, I mean, just all in all around, a team that has done amazing things.
Great organization.
in promotion of the Albuquerque Isotopes
Absolutely.
and the Mariachis whole series and something for us to be proud of
Right.
here in the city is
Yeah.
they brought. Now this wasn't something that happened just here in the Southwest region.
Nope.
Didn't happen just with the Spanish market teams.
Nope.
This was as a whole.
So it is now. It started off, I think, as like 12 teams 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Then last year
Was it 12 or more? I think it was more
the
than that.
year before last, and then last year it was 33 teams in minor
Ah.
league baseball, and Albuquerque was one of them.
Yeah.
And that's when they finally said, "Hey, let's make a contest out of this."
Right.
So the team, the organization that sold the most apparel had the highest attendance, and some other rubrics. At the end of the baseball season, they announced who the winner was, and Albuquerque, the Isotopes Mariachis, won the Fun Cup, La Copa de la Diversión, for
Yep.
this campaign. So now minor league baseball was stepped up even more. There's 72 teams this year that changed their names to a Hispanic name, Latin name, a different logo, and there's
Yep.
some funny,
Wow.
funny logos out there. I mean, you got a team called the Chupacabras. You have a team called the Cucuys. You got a team called the Flying Chanclas in San Antonio. I mean, it is.
What about the
funny.
Chicharrones?
I don't know if that's been the eloteros. There's-
Eloteros?
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, I've seen some funny ones. I haven't seen all of them, but there's some funny names out there, and it's great. And it was minor league baseball's attempt to just reach out to the Hispanic demographic because
Right.
so many Latin players represent so many different countries from Mexico, Puerto Rico, the Dominican, Venezuela. It's just their way of just kind of honoring their heritage and culture.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it's been popular in minor league stadiums all over the United States.
Well, look at that. I mean, 3 years it went from 12 to over 70.
12 to 72.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so that tells you the popularity.
Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas, Nevada started it, and they were the Reyes de Plata. And they had a super cool little miner, like a calavera miner.
Yeah.
And it was just cool. And then last year, when the Isotopes approached us about, hey, how would you feel about this campaign? And Luis and I, we helped develop that and kind of coach them on how to promote this thing.
Right.
And we were very, very honored and humbled to be a part of this campaign. And we just built a really great relationship with the Isotopes, and hence, we move forward. I play a little music at these games, and every once in a while you might hear me sing the national anthem.
So
That's super
let's get back to this marcha because that was a signature Luis thing, and I'm sad that I'm going to be missing it tonight.
Yeah, that was mentioned to us a couple weeks ago by Dylan Storm and the team. And
Good deal. Well, listen, I'm
they're
glad
gonna-
that they're
gonna
picking
finally
it up and
execute
they're
it.
going to run with it.
we're gonna
That
see
is
how it
cool.
works.
So here's the deal, right? I'm just going to put a challenge out there, right?
All right, here's the challenge.
Okay, John Traub, Dylan, the entire team out there. I'm challenging you guys to a marcha competition.
Ooh,
A marcha competition.
marcha competition.
So we're gonna. If you would kindly do us a favor, and if you would count all the participants in your marcha somehow, some way,
have to get a clicker or something.
get a clicker, get somebody out there
Get
to count
somebody
the
out there
people.
and count them out.
No cheating either, right?
Just get a video and slow it down.
Hey, there you go. You can do that. Just,
Get a video of this, slow it down, or get a clicker. We want to see who can have the biggest marcha per session. So it's going to be the
like that.
Isotopes tonight for the Mariachis game
tonight, it's happening. It's going down tonight.
versus me at the fiestas in Las Vegas this weekend.
Ah. I've been a part of your marchas before.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh,
Now, we're not talking about the length of time.
No.
It could be a short 10-minute marcha per session, or it could be a 45-minute marcha per session.
Right.
It's entirely up to you. What we're counting is the actual number of
the
people.
heads.
Now, we tried this at San Felipe Fiestas.
Yes, we did.
A
couple years
while,
ago.
It's probably been about 4 or 5 years
Right about
now.
the time I moved back.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
You
I-
handed me a mic and just said, sing to this. And
Sing a song, right?
and I had to make up lyrics in Spanish on the spot
On
for,
the
for
spot.
Big Lou.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We did another rendition of it at the New Mexico State Fair, and we had I can't remember the group, Colonial something or other de Santa Fe.
It was the Colonial Spanish Arts, right?
Something like
like
that.
that.
Yes. But the highest number that we got, I'm not even going to tell you what the number is. I'm just putting this out there to you. So
All right.
maybe you can reach out to Dylan. You text
I'll
Dylan.
text Dylan.
Text Dylan right now and say, hey, man, Luis put out a challenge for you guys to count the number of participants that you have. And then, I don't know, what are we going to put on the table? What does the winner get? Bragging rights?
Bragging rights and Blake's Lotaburger breakfast burritos.
Okay, I'm down.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And you remember, you have one day,
I,
right?
I have to do this
Yeah,
right now.
do
Like,
right
I
now.
got
You got to get
3
your
hours.
hustle. You
I
gotta
got 4
hustle.
hours to
You
pull
gotta
this
hustle.
off.
But you know what? You have the contacts. You have the tell them what the challenges. You probably get everybody out.
We'll
and then
put
but
the
in
bat
Vegas,
signal out.
If you're going to Vegas,
Oh, dude.
dude,
You're going
they're
to
up for a
Vegas.
challenge.
Oh, bro.
Well,
you,
you know,
you call them out, dude.
You're gonna
dude.
have old ladies. You're gonna have old ladies in the wheelchairs. They're gonna be pushing.
the abuelas. Oh, dude, they'll be helping each other, man.
So here's the
Come
challenge.
on,
right?
Florencia, we gotta do the marcha. Because those are the names up there, like
That's
you know,
it.
Desiderio and Casimiro and Florencia. Those are the names up there,
That's
man.
it. Everybody in our family, every female, for the most part, has muddy as something.
Yes, they do.
Everybody, well, you know that
Oh
too.
yeah, I know that
If,
too.
if
There's
if not Maria, it's Mary.
it's
It's Mary. Yeah.
Maria-
Because in that time it was a time when it was frowned upon for them to speak Spanish right? And so they named they started giving them
Yeah.
more Anglo names.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
They made a little
Oh, yeah.
little transition.
More American tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, no, definitely a good time. I know that
times.
my challenge out there is going to be the time between the acts. We're looking at 15-minute windows, and so we'll see. So we might save this for Saturday. We've got Gonzalo. Check this out: Gonzalo, Al Jr., Danette Marie, and Darren Cordova y Calor, all on one bill, one night,
All
back
right.
to back.
I might
That's
have to
gonna
go there
That's
Saturday.
going to be an amazing
I'm just
night.
saying.
Now,
I might
when
have
is
to
that?
go up Saturday.
That's on Saturday.
To go
It's on
and see
Saturday.
that event
On
and
Saturday.
then head up north to catch the Mavericks and Los Lobos.
Well,
so.
and here's the deal: is that it all happens all before 7:00, so you still have time to get up there,
That is true.
and make that
That is
magic
true.
happen.
I'm so happy for Robert, man. He's done this his whole life. And
He
just to
has,
see what he's done. and
he
been
started
true to-
off,
true to his
like,
roots
yeah,
and then just
stayed his roots.
and he's doing good
He's
things,
doing well.
man.
He's very grateful. He got his start, really his breaking start with the El Hurricane Band.
Mhm.
Previous to that, they founded.
Sangre
Sangre
Joven.
Sangre
Joven.
Joven. There we go.
Sangre Joven. Yeah.
Sangre Joven, and
They're still
Back in the
around.
day.
They're
Oh,
still,
yeah.
they're still
yeah.
a band.
Daniel Lee Gallegos. Yeah. He's
I
still, he's still
played in
jamming.
Sangre Joven.
Did you really?
Did you?
Everybody's playing in Sangre Joven, dude. Hey, no disrespect, Daniel. Hey, dude, but no.
Yeah.
But you know what? Daniel's always been a good guy, bro, and he's always been about New Mexico pride, and
Right.
he welcomed a lot of different musicians to play in his band, and it's awesome.
That's cool.
In fact, he'll be wrapping up Saturday night.
Oh, awesome.
I believe.
Good choice.
Yeah, if I can remember. If
Cool.
my memory serves me.
Well, a lot going on in Albuquerque. You got mariachis, you got business stuff, you got fiestas. Take your pick, and yeah, that's. I hope we see you out there.
And somebody somewhere, do me the favor of broadcasting the marcha tonight live somewheres.
Somewhere.
That's all I'm gonna ask
And,
for,
and
right?
tag you.
Yeah,
La marcha.
I'm sure there's somebody out there
There's
with a
got to
camera.
be somewhere,
Somebody.
someone.
Yeah, somebody that knows how to use a camera to
Right.
to
Yeah.
record that. Yeah, but gentlemen, thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome.
been
It's
great.
been
Yeah, great show.
Yeah. See, now I'm getting all choked up.
I know, Luce. It's okay. It's so hard to say goodbye.
Marcha. We're gonna do a marcha right out of here.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna march out right out of here.
We're gonna march out right out of here. Yeah. But no. Again, how do folks get a hold of you?
The fastest way to get a hold of me, you can go to my website, scalethroughautomation.com. Just put in, I know it's long, but put in there one time. It'll pop up in your URL next time.
Scale through automation.
Scale through automation. OJ,
Or-
how do people get a hold of you? Oh wait, you're not
Or
done.
my email is askwilton@scalethroughautomation.com.
I like that email, by the way. Ask Wilton.
Awesome.
Like, do you guys remember Ask Jeeves?
I remember that.
Ask who?
Ask
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
No.
That was a
It,
search.
it was like a
engine.
search engine where you could just ask it anything and it would figure
Oh,
it out for you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I do remember
Ask
that.
Jeeves.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. We're gonna bring Ask Jeeves back.
There you go. We're gonna bring back Ask
just like
Jeeves
we're gonna
back.
bring MySpace back.
I want the top
Oh.
8 back. That's what I want. I want top 8 friends, dude. And I want the theme
You
music.
remember that?
dude.
That was MySpace
the
top.
theme. I want the theme music as you look in the page, and I want a top 8, man.
Oh,
I bet
man.
your accounts are still out there somewhere in
They
cyber,
are.
they are. I
cyberspace.
just don't know how to log into
We,
it, man.
in fact, this is how long it's been since I've updated my Elite Music Productions website. I have my MySpace page linked on my website.
Oh my god.
Can you believe
That's
that?
awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, linked.
That's cool.
What a trip, isn't it? Anyhow, well,
All
if
right.
you're in the mood for bringing MySpace back or Ask Jeeves, let us know what your
What your thoughts are?
professional capacity
Yeah.
is to make that happen.
What can we do?
Yes, let's do that. In the meantime, figure out how to make the most of your business. Reach out to Wilton. Make sure that you go through the process. He will automate your stuff for you for free. Well, at least tell you the process.
That's a pretty good test drive.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he'll be able to tell you what the value of these services are, and the impact that they're going to help make on your business, but more importantly, on your bottom line. And I'll even submit to say on your sanity,
Right.
right? Because as an entrepreneur, está loco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It gets crazy, but make sure you do that. We will gather up some links, and we will get those posted in the comments down below. If you want to be a guest on the show, please reach out to Orlando J. Marquez. His number is in every bathroom across the city.
I love that.
Oh,
Dude,
boy.
That
Wow.
was a good one,
Okay.
man.
You know it's
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
seen it. That's the one. You know what? I did it. Let's talk about. I have seen it quite a bit.
Wrong
man.
guy.
Wrong guy.
Wrong guy.
Okay, I'm kidding, but how do folks get a hold of you,
Hey,
OJ?
you can reach me at my my cell at 610-3022 for all your real estate needs. Let
There
me
you
know,
go.
or let me know how I can help you out.
Is that? Do you have an Albuquerque phone number?
I
now?
have an Albuquerque phone number.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. Well, I still have my personal Vegas phone number. That'll never leave, but I had to get a 505 number, man.
He's got a 505
I
number.
got a 505 number.
Reach out to OJ. Let him know that you want to be on the show. He'll
Yep.
kindly make magic happen for you. Yeah, what else we got going on? That's about it, really,
Pretty
right?
much it, yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a great one.